Welcome to the Faith-Based Christian Channel.
Jesus asked, "Can ye not discern the signs of the times?"
Subscribe to the Faith-Based Christian Channel today.
All right, let's get right into it. You know, the book of Revelation gives us this absolutely stunning picture of the end times, this new city, the new Jerusalem coming down from heaven. But it also gives us one of the most sobering lists in the entire Bible, a very specific 8-point inventory of who will not be there. And this isn't some list for other people. This is meant as an urgent warning for every single one of us.
So, the Bible lays out this incredibly stark contrast. Inside the gates, you have a city of pure gold, a place where God Himself is the light, and there are literally no more tears. But right outside that incredible radiance is something else entirely, a lake of fire and sulfur, a place of total exclusion, a place called the second death. You know, the stakes really could not be higher.
So the big question is, who exactly is on the outside looking in? Well, in the final pages of the Bible, God Himself gives us that list. 8 specific categories of people whose character, at its core, just doesn't align with His.
And there it is, straight from Revelation, chapter 21, verse 8. Now, what's really important to understand here is that this list isn't just about single actions. The source material really suggests it's about character. It's about practicing these things until they literally become who you are. And the very first group on this list, well, it's probably not who you'd expect.
I mean, isn't that shocking? Why, out of all the possible sins, does God put the cowardly first, even before murderers? It really forces us to stop and ask, what kind of fearfulness is so serious in God's eyes?
Well, the Greek word used here is deilos. And this isn't talking about being afraid of spiders or, public speaking. This is about spiritual cowardice. It's about that moment of truth when loyalty to Jesus is going to cost you something, your job, your reputation, maybe even your safety, and you choose to save your own skin instead. See, in that moment, it's a violation of the very first commandment. You've put self-preservation on the throne where God is supposed to be.
And right there with the cowardly are the unbelieving, or apostois. Now, in the context of Revelation, this often means those who actually had faith at one point, but then turned away. They're the apostates. They're the ones who refuse to trust God's promises when things get tough, and they live as if His word is just, a friendly suggestion.
Okay, so the list keeps going with 4 more character types. You've got the detestable. These are people who embrace what is profane and reject what's holy. Then murderers, and this isn't just about the physical act, but about harboring that deep, corrosive hatred in your heart. The sexually immoral describes a life that's centered on using the body for self-gratification, completely outside of God's design. And idolaters, well, that's anyone who replaces God with anything else, whether it's money, career, or even your own reputation.
The next one is fascinating: sorcerers. The Greek word is pharmakois, and get this, it's the root of our modern word pharmacy. In the ancient world, it was tied to using drugs for things like inducing trances or casting spells. At its heart, sorcery is just rebellion. It's trying to get spiritual power or knowledge from any source other than God.
Now we're at the final category, and this one is absolutely crucial. Why? Because it's the only sin that shows up in every single one of Revelation's exclusion lists. That tells you just how seriously God views this.
And that category is all liars. Again, the Greek here, pseudosin, doesn't mean telling a little white lie every now and then. It's pointing to people who practice deception as a lifestyle, whose entire character has been twisted and shaped by falsehood. The Bible directly links this to the devil, who it calls the father of lies. So, to be a chronic liar is to literally take on his character.
So, for all 8 of these groups, the consequence is exactly the same: the second death. But what does that even mean? What is the second death?
Okay, so the first death is physical, right? We all experience that. The second death, as it's described here, is something else. It's the eternal extinction of life. It's total, permanent exclusion from the presence of God in a place called outer darkness. And it's not some arbitrary punishment. It's the natural state of being completely unfit for a universe that is defined by the pure holiness of God.
Now look, if this list feels heavy, it's supposed to. But the Bible is so clear that this is not a final death sentence. It's meant to be a final, urgent call to mercy, because there is a way inside the gates.
I mean, that's the real question, isn't it? After a list this severe, a list that touches on so many parts of human nature and character, is there any hope left for any of us?
The answer, thankfully, is yes, and we find it in the very next chapter.
Blessed are those who wash their robes. You see what that says? Entry isn't based on having a perfect record. It's based on being cleansed. Your robe is your character, your identity, and on its own, it's stained.
So how do you wash these robes? Well, the only way described is by making them white in the blood of the Lamb. This is, of course, a powerful metaphor for a continuous process of turning to Jesus, of accepting his sacrifice as the only thing that can truly wash away the stains on our hearts.
And this is the most crucial part. The source material emphasizes that this is an opportunity that exists in the present. The New Jerusalem is descending, the invitation is active, and the gates are described as being wide open right now.
And this invitation is intensely personal. Jesus says, "To the one who is thirsty, I will give freely from the fountain of the water of life." And so the final question is posed directly to you, to me, to all of us. Are you thirsty?
The book of Revelation actually begins and ends with this one urgent announcement: the time is near. See, this isn't just some story about the distant future. It's a message for today. It's a call to look at our own hearts and to choose which side of that gate we're going to stand on.
Subscribe to the Faith-Based Christian channel today, and let's grow our faith together in these last days. The King is at the door.